What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Indie Sooner YouTube channel and the JP and Trav show that's coming to you live on a Thursday night. We had Bedlam last night that didn't finish too hot. Um, but we're here. We're ready to talk some good football and get to some things. Trav is chilling out there in Vegas, living La
Yep.
Vida Loca.
Here in the desert. Yep. Myself, my business partner Jeff Roden.
Trav, I think we may have lost you vocally. I need. Can you hear me, Travis? Can
All
those
right.
that can y'all hear me, or was that just
Yeah,
Travis' audio
it
that
was me. It was me. My for some reason my shocks came out, but um, yeah. So we're out here in Vegas. It's only 7 o'clock here, so very early, and that's why we're about to go get dinner. But we got to talk a little OU sports now, a little OU football now. I mean, I'm in the land of Jake Taylor. I'm in the land of DeMarco Murray. I'm in the land of Ryan Reynolds, Bishop Gorman right up the street,
from Andre Stevenson?
Mondre, Dre Day. So, yeah, out here in the desert kicking it. But, speaking of some athletes, did you see some of them testing times, buddy?
Boy, but let's talk about Jaron Kanek at 2:30, 4.4. I mean, Gavin Sawchuk running 4.39, and Jaron Kanek is right behind him.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's coming in chasing Gentry Williams,
Yep.
918's finest, running a 4.37. Um, Dude's always had crazy speed, but yeah, 4.4 flat for Jaron Kanek, 4.41 for Justin Harrington, who obviously projects as a cheetah. I mean, just some insane speed in that room. Having 2.43 guys, um, that's impressive. But but yes, TUL is the airport code for Tulsa. So I actually bought that hat because I went last Friday to bowl against the rest of the radio station. I was on Mr. Toby Rowland's team, and I'm the only Tulsa employee of KREF. So I rocked the TUL hat to, kind of let them know the 918 holding it down.
Mm-hmm. 918 for life over here. This Trav slogan. He ripped the 918 hard.
Lord.
Got
I
to.
mean, Peyton Bowen ran a 4.46. So, I mean,
Yeah.
in the 4.4s, that's still really fast.
I mean, him and Billy Bowman were like almost next to each other, right?
You say what?
Him and Billy were almost next to each other.
Yeah, 4.46 and 4.49. If you got two safeties running in the 4.4s, you can be just fine. And Billy Bowman is swole. I
Yo.
mean, those pictures of him, goodness gracious. He's I can't wait for him to stay healthy throughout the season. We'll see. We'll see. I think Billy Bowman's going to have a massive year. Massive year. All conference at minimum.
Yeah. No, I agree. So we're looking at all conference members. I was in a conversation with somebody earlier today who said they felt like he could be an All-American, and I don't disagree. And I said, they said, they felt he's the only one on the team that could hit that status. I said, hold on. I'm like, I know we're not just throwing out All-American statuses, but I felt like on the defense, I mean, Danny could hit that if he has another jump, the jump he had, throughout obviously his first two Venables. He had over 100 tackles, right? And obviously, he wasn't perfect by any metric, but if he's playing like he played against Florida State, especially some of the flash plays he made, like the one tackle that we can think of, like 5 yards behind scrimmage of Jordan Travis. If that's a Danny we see consistently next year, right?
Yeah.
Tyler Guyton, I think, is one you can look at and say he has the measurables, and if he continues to grow, he can be that type of player. I'm cool going all conference first, but I think we have some potential players that can maybe ascend to that next level as well.
Well, I mean, Deshaun McCullough is already an All-American.
Oh yeah,
Freshman.
freshman All American. Yep.
So, I mean, you're in good shape, really across the defense now as far as production. But yeah, I guess what's interesting, I guess nationally right now, which does pertain to Oklahoma, Kendall Briles out at Arkansas into TCU. Interesting stuff. They haven't announced it on the TCU's official football page.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Hmm.
Wonder why. It's almost like a lot of the fan base was not going to be happy with the hire and let that be known. But regardless, that may have a bit of an impact on one young Mike Hawkins Jr. Mike Hawkins, the original, played at Oklahoma, national champion at Oklahoma. So, it's looking good for Oklahoma as that decision, winds down. Decision will be made in the next 2 weeks. So, and I think the decision will probably speed up because one Parker Thune is reporting that the Arkansas visit has been canceled that Mike Hawkins was supposed to take. So
we like to hear. Mike Hawkins is a top 2, 3, 4 quarterback. I can't talk today. It's been a long day for me at work, dog. Top 2024 quarterback. That is he leaving Allen? Did he leave Allen? Is he leaving Allen? Was that?
I'm not sure where he's ending up. I know Peyton Pierce wants him in Lovejoy.
Yeah,
but I have not looked into it much. I've had a pretty busy week out here so far. So
yeah. Chad's been busy securing deals in Las Vegas.
man. I'll tell you what, man. This conference is no joke. There are, Jeff, how many vendors are there?
600.
600 vendors, 600 booths to go by. And the amount of guns at this place, it would make Rambo blush. Like, it's crazy the stuff they've got going on. Like,
600.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, multiple stories. Like, if anybody's ever been to a conference at the Venetian, it's just insane. They took over the Caesars Forum as well. It's been wild. My dogs are barking, and I'm not talking about Georgia fans. So,
yeah. That sounds fun than what I've been doing. I've been doing some boneheaded student athletes, suspensions, all that jazz on the last 3 days. It's been annoying, crazy, what have you. But let's get back to Oklahoma football. So speaking of offense coordinator situation, there obviously is a little rumor mill about one Jeff Lebby, with the potential of the Alabama offensive coordinator position opening up with Bill O'Brien potentially leaving. Rumor has it Nick Saban got his eye on Jeff Lebby, as do some others. Which, hey, I'm just throwing it out there. If Nick Saban looking at Jeff Lebby, like, I feel like Trav and I vindicated about everything we said the whole year, because a lot of y'all wanted to be, fire Lebby, do this, do that. And Trav me was over here like, are y'all crazy? Are you watching? Are you like just not know football? Like, I don't know what to tell you. But anyways, that should tell you the value of Jeff Lebby, one. But let's go on in on that. Trav, have you heard anything? Or are you hearing anything in that realm? Should Sooner fans be worried? Or is this just smoke?
I could say, I mean, Alabama, has reached out. I've heard Georgia has reached out as well, with the assumption that Monken will be moving on. But I 100% expect Jeff Levy to be the offensive coordinator in 2023 at Oklahoma. He's at his dream school. Oklahoma is where he wants to be. He's looking at a situation that maybe, with sustained success, he's, a coach in waiting down the road, or maybe he takes a head coaching job next. Because he was talking, you remember the talk was if Lane took the Auburn job, that Ole Miss would look at Lebby to be head coach. So head coach in the SEC was a possible next step for Jeff Lebby. Now, obviously, that didn't happen, but with that, I think, he's learning from the best example he can of a guy that can get paid millions of dollars to be a coordinator at a high level, get some rings on your hand,
Yeah.
and then you can have your pick of the jobs down the road at a blue blood or something like that. So, yeah, but to your point, yeah, Lebby's really good. If you read Emmett Jones's letter about why he chose Oklahoma, very rarely do you get like the offensive coordinator shouted out in those things. You usually get the head coach because they talk about culture, they talk about this other. He talked about how he's been admiring Jeff Lebby from afar. He can't wait to work with him on stuff. Stuff like that. Like everybody in the industry, the coaching industry, players, one Jackson Arnold, they all love Lebby. So I think I'm going to go with them. But no, I expect him to remain Oklahoma's offensive coordinator. I don't think we're going to go shopping. I think it's possible Saban just pulls from the NFL ranks like he has so many times. Who that is, I don't know. But I could see him doing that. He gets position coaches from the NFL. He pretty much does what he wants. So, I feel pretty confident. And like, if Lebby goes, like Jackson signed, like the whole class is signed. So this is not a flip situation. He's signed. So, theoretically, like not only is he signed, like he's enrolled. So he would have to, I guess, burn his transfer, like his one free transfer on like a week of schooling to go to a place he's never been. So yeah, I just think there are too many reasons to stay at Oklahoma.
Yeah, and I think that obviously Jackson has detailed his love for Levy, but I don't know that it's as much of a Caleb Williams, Lincoln Riley situation, if you will. I feel that Jackson has an actual love of Oklahoma as well, and the university and the campus. Obviously, being as close as he is, Caleb's from the DMV. He didn't know, Oklahoma from Nebraska, besides that Lincoln was there. But with Jackson, at least you have somebody that grew up in the area, and knows the school, knows it well. So I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that. That's just kind of my feeling.
Yeah.
But
and Denton is very pro OU. The Denton
right,
area
exactly
feels like Norman Southwest or something. It's just that's what it feels like. It's on our side of Dallas. Even that Allen area, Frisco, like that's all. It's becoming more so heavy. Oklahoma, especially Allen. If we're able to lock down Hawkins, I know he's moving, but still, it's an Allen family, right? So it's when you think Michael Hawkins, there are people in Texas that will always think Allen, no matter where he plays the rest of his high school ball.
Yeah.
Gunny shouting out Rashada. What a, disaster for Florida. Absolute disaster.
It's crazy.
But hey, I don't fault Jaden Rashada at all.
Yeah.
They said, hey, this is the deal. Allegedly, $13 million over 4 years, not $13 million up front, $13 million over 4 years. And they said, sorry, we ain't got it. And Rashada was like, well, if you ain't got it, you ain't got me. So Anyways, I think it's probably a situation where the number is like it's up to $13 million if you win 4 national championships, or if you win 4 Heisman trophies and 4 national championships, and you go, I mean, like whatever, right? So with him, he's going to end up. Everybody's got their guy, man.
Yeah.
I don't know where he ends up. I mean, and he's a good kid too. I met him in Vegas. Well, last time I was in Vegas, met him in Vegas at OT7. Good kid. Me and Parker talked to him for like a half hour. Cam Newton came over, was going to do some private training with him. He's the real deal, and he can spin it. But he's a good kid, and I feel bad that he flipped from Miami to go to Florida, and they had this agreement, and Florida reneged on it, and he's like, okay, well now I'm not coming. And now Florida's quarterback situation. If you're DJ Lagway, I mean, are you now worried about your NIL possibilities? Are you worried about the leadership, or can you trust them?
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. It's a crazy situation, man. I mean, I'm just glad we haven't had to deal with something like that. I mean, not that it's the same thing, but even with recruiting and pulling Peyton Bowen, that situation, and then getting good old Rouse from Stanford as well under Nebraska's nose. We've kind of been on the other end of that, which has been nice. But,
well, what's crazy is Jaden Rashada and Jackson Arnold both were going to commit to OU, and Jackson just got to Norman quicker and committed. Rashada was going to commit to OU. So, like, it's crazy that we nearly had to, follow the Peyton Bowen and Jaden Rashada saga and the David Hicks saga all at the same time. That would have been stressful. But yeah, Rashada was going to be a Sooner if Jackson didn't beat him to the punch. And we got the super low key Gatorade National Player of the Year, 5-star Elite 11 MVP. Like, we're in good shape.
We're
and if we don't get Peyton, if we don't get Jackson, we probably don't get Peyton. Yeah. So I think things worked out just fine.
Did you see, shifting gears just a little bit here? Did you see the preseason Big 12 softball rankings, or not rankings, all conference standings? I can't.
Like the all conference team, the preseason.
Yeah.
I didn't see it all. I saw some tweets about Kinsey Hansen wasn't on it, I believe.
Yep, she wasn't on. The big gripes were that she wasn't on there, and then that Grace Lyons was not unanimous.
I do wonder. I wonder if there's any pressure to just say, look, the whole conference, like the whole all conference team can't just be OU.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because legitimately you could make a case for 80% of it being OU. And if you just went, line by line, you could make that argument. But so I think maybe some of it is probably Oklahoma fatigue.
Sure.
Which we see in other places, right? I mean, nobody could stop talking about the MVP when everybody thought it was going to be, Jalen Hurts or Justin Jefferson or anything. Mahomes wins it, and you don't even hear about it.
Yep.
You don't hear a word about it. So it's fatigue amongst media, voters, things like that. It's a real thing. There's no doubt about it.
They ain't been talking about that, man. They may have 5,000 passing yards this year, and I don't feel like I heard about it at all. Because they talked about him maybe dropping off, and they put him as that 1 year. I think that Lamar won MVP. He was like the number 4 best quarterback in top 100. And I'm like, okay, let's just give him more motivation. It'd be crazy, but
Sauce Josh brings up the good point. Now OU can finally say, well, they didn't believe in us. Kind of like all those idiot Georgia players. Man, they said we'd go 5-7. Who
said that?
Who said you'd go 5-7?
Well, one person said that.
What? Incredible. OU
So
women's
it says
basketball,
OU women's
OU
basketball.
women's tennis
Mhm.
is. I mean, they got the brooms out all the time. They got more brooms in their hands than rackets.
Sweeping.
Just sweeping everybody. I was blessed to be able to go to the men's game last week, men's game, then the women's tennis match, then the women's basketball game, all in one foul swoop, and went 3-0. Man, wrestling got a big win. We got 6 wins in track and field that week. I mean, it was great. It was great, but yeah, gymnastics, killing it.
Gymnastics, yeah.
They went into Livy Dunn's house, got a dub over Miss Livy Dunn. So that's always big time. So yeah, women's sports, man, they're absolutely murdering it at Oklahoma right now.
They are. They are. And for those of you who are in the Norman area this weekend, make sure you go check the track and field team out. Little sis gonna be running.
Hey,
She's trying to do her thing. So y'all go support the women's sports, man. Like I said, they're really balling out for OU this year. Hopefully they can send some magic over to the football team for next season.
yeah, you can't. You don't want to be that program that's carried entirely by like 10 other sports.
Yeah, they'll figure it out.
Sound like OSU fans in here.
I know. Hey, let's have some Q&A time. Travis has got to leave us in here in just a little bit, as he said he's got an important dinner to go to with his job. So we got him for a couple more minutes. So let's get some Q&A in here. After that, I'll be on for probably another 10 to 15 minutes. We'll continue to just chop it up, spend time together tonight. It's real laid back JP and Trash show this week, but we do have exciting things planned for y'all in the future. Like I said, off season, we don't really sleep as much as we can. We got guests coming on and different things like that. So exciting stuff for sure. Oh my word! Listen, the kid, like I it didn't happen this year. Like I didn't go on the same day. So it was all good. We talked about it. And it didn't matter anyway because we got blown. Maybe I should have went because we got blown out 49-0. So, the last 2 times I went, we won. But nah. Little sis got some speed on her. Just a little bit of speed. So she wouldn't race me in high school. I probably could have beat her in high school. I'm not even gonna lie. Y'all probably don't think that, but I'm actually pretty fast for my size. Let's get some other questions in here.
I won't be doing any running. I am. So I don't know if you all are familiar with who Tim Kennedy is, but Tim Kennedy is a former MMA fighter, Green Beret, Special Force, just like military, badass, like just awesome dude. Anyways, we had dinner with him on Monday as part of the Tim Kennedy operations, as part of his partner summit, as he's an audience rent client. So he's like, "Hey guys, 7 a.m. we're going to do CrossFit," and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, I've never done CrossFit. I was like, but Tim Kennedy, he's a partner of ours, and I want to be there, support him, work out with him a little bit, and continue to massage that relationship. And I don't know how many of y'all have done CrossFit, but my other business partner, Dominic, went with me. He was like, yeah, we'll do like 5 burpees, and then we'll have a little bit of time to rest, and we'll do like 5 like toes to nose, and then we'll do like 10 pull-ups. We'll do all. No, Tim wrote his own workout, and it was 100 of every workout. And as a guy who doesn't do CrossFit, I like lift. Like I'll go like lift weights. As a guy who doesn't do CrossFit, to do CrossFit for the first time with a bunch of like special forces military, like, dog, that was on Tuesday morning. I I couldn't pop out of this chair if I needed to. I'm so sore. It is rough.
It is rough. It's a lot, man. Like, yeah, look, CrossFit may not work for football purposes, but I mean, just for like life purposes, man, CrossFit's pretty good. It gets you in shape quick. It burns a lot of fat, but also builds muscle. I mean, it gets you looking fit. So
Get me in the shape of a shrimp
it's tough.
curled up in my bed. That's not the shape I need to be in.
Yeah. Topher asks, how many 24 football commits will OU have by this summer?
By the beginning of summer, like before, like end of spring. I think we have. I think before summer starts, we have 5. We could do 5 because I think you get your quarterback in the class. I fully believe that Mike Hawkins is going to be our quarterback. He is so well liked and connected in the East Texas area, the DFW area, if you will.
Yeah.
That East Dallas is going to be ours again. You start to look at guys like Nigel Smith, or guys like a Peyton Pierce. You look at guys like that, and then I know that David Stone's going to take his visits. A lot of people are worried about Michigan State. I'm really not worried about Michigan State that much, even though I got my Michigan State green on tonight, I guess. But I honestly think David Stone's going to start to feel a bit of FOMO maybe, because he's wanted to commit to Oklahoma multiple times, but some members of his family, one particular member of his family, had put the kibosh on that to make sure that he, really saw his commitment through. So, or saw his recruitment through. So, I think he'll pop earlier than a lot of people expect, simply because I think he'll start to see dudes, piling onto OU, and he'll start to think to himself, like, man, like, I want to be a cornerstone of this class. So, anyways, the kid's been getting recruited since 8th grade. So,
yep.
So it's not, this recruitment thing is not new to him. But when he's in Oklahoma, he spends more time in Norman than he does at his own house. So his sister goes to OU. A lot of ties there. So I think, let's see, I just named 4. So yeah, I think 5 is reasonable by the time summer starts. And then I think, you get a couple of big months in the summer before football season, and then we just put a bow on it, much like we did this year. Put a bow on it the rest of the season. Williams Noel Mary. You've got some defensive line prospects that really will cause that room to fill up quicker than it did this year.
Yeah.
Because it's like there's only so many spots. I mean, you could say we're in good position with 2 5-stars and a super high 4-star, like top 150 player, I think he is. So, I mean, you start to really pile on it. Really, if this throughout the season, if the defensive line looks really good, then you'll really start to see some stuff pile on. But yeah, so I think 5 is my answer. What do you think, JP?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at what we did last summer, especially if we all can just take a trip down memory lane, 2022 around this time, you had a lot of people, even after Brent Venables shored up a class that was in free fall to being the number 8 class. You had a lot of people saying, "Oh, OU's going to fall off. They're recruiting, here they are 40th, and we said, all right, just wait on it, right? When July hit, it was on like Donkey Kong, like one after another almost. And so, what do we have, like 8 or 9 in that time span?
Yeah, they were all popping quick.
Yeah. So
yeah. Well, because you had your barbecue, then you had your party in the palace.
Yep. I'll throw Josh's question up there. Speaking of the barbecue, are they doing that again this year?
Yes. Yes, they are. As far as I know, they are.
Yeah. So I mean, with those things in tow and that's consideration. Obviously, I don't think they'll take as much in this class, obviously, as they did in 2023. But um, I think 5 is reasonable. Maybe upwards of 7. By then, we'll have to see who we get in there for visits and who we impress. But and admittedly, I'll say this: I'm not as up to date on the 24 classes I probably should be. I was pretty locked in at 23, but I need to recycle my brain, get to these this 24 class. I'm over here worried about my student athletes, trying to get them some looks and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's tough, man, because like I feel like this happens every year. Like, man, I can't even think of the people in the class. But then within like
Yeah.
3 weeks, I'm like,
Yep.
here are the 35 most likely candidates that we've been talking to, and that I rank them 1 to 35. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. It's like
Yeah.
it happens every year. We feel
Yeah.
ignorant about it, and then all of a sudden, it's like, yeah, I know it all.
Yeah,
My-
it'll probably happen after the Super Bowl. I'll probably be like, "Oh yeah, like did you hear
right.
about that one kid?" Yeah, but right now I'm just like I'm coming down off the 23 class. I know the big names, right? Like David Stone, like Hawkins, and whatnot. But just getting into the nitty gritty of it all, because obviously there's so many prospects from year to year that I just need to kind of dig in on. But again, just based off of what we saw last year happen, again, maybe at a lesser clip, excuse me, because
Mhm.
I don't think they're going to take as much as we took in this year's class, especially the transfer portal as well. But yeah, I think that's a reasonable answer that you gave. Your dad out here say he could run a 4.4.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure unless maybe if Gracie, our dog, has something in her mouth that she's not supposed to, and is running away. Maybe he can get the 4.4 then. But hey, haven't seen my dad out on the track lately, so maybe he's been training up in Branson, and I just don't know about it.
Josh, you in Thailand, dog?
That's funny.
You visiting or you live there?
Does he live there?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. He's like being in Bangkok. I just don't talk with a lot of people here for college football. Man, you halfway across the world? Oh, he lives there. Word. It's daytime. Been there for 15 years. What? You've always lived in Thailand? That's crazy.
I had no idea.
That's dope.
Yeah. Find Cliff. Cliff Kingsbury's over there.
Yeah. Give us the skinny. That's cool, Josh. Anyway, sorry to answer your question. So, what's going to happen to Florida? Yikes! It's a bad look all around to recruiting NIL. Jeter, huge black eye. Man, I don't know. We're gonna have to see. They went and got Billy Napier. I don't know if people would say they're okay with where the direction is going. You look at Florida, you look at OU, similar years in terms of win-loss record. But which program are you more okay with moving forward?
Right. I mean, so there are going to be people that say, "Oh, Brent Venables 6-7, he's not that guy," and Napier has had, coaching success, but it's like, dog, like,
Yeah.
I mean, we're about to ink a top 4 class. We moved up from 5th to 4th today with Cormani McLean's flip. So, I mean, we keep on going up and up, and Florida keeps on going down and down with Rashada's decommitment. So now that he's at, well, I don't know if they've officially taken him out of the math. So let me do a quick experiment. Let me do some math real quick.
Hey, BV handing out. I heard BV handing out stiff arms to people that be clowning on his name out here.
Hey man, nobody. I occasionally block people because I don't feel like it's my duty to make sure that I see everybody that wants to be like a dick. You know what I mean? Like I don't have to put up with that. Like I get to choose what I see on my social media apps. I just get to choose. And, some people, people can block whoever they want. And it doesn't make them soft. It doesn't make them thin-skinned. Doesn't make anything like that. If somebody's sitting there poking you in the arm and you swat their arm away, it's not because you're soft. It's because you don't want them doing it, or you don't want to be exposed to it. At some point, the onus has to go on the person that got blocked and maybe think, what got to a point where they felt like they wanted to make sure they never saw anything that I said ever again. What got to that point? Maybe some reflection, perhaps. All right, 264.38. So without Rashada, they would be 16th, all the way behind Mule Shoe at 15th. Yikes. So, wow, so they're going to tank in the rankings. They're not going to finish with a top 15 class, which is inexcusable if you're Florida. I mean, Florida should be able to recruit.
Yep.
Flat out. Simple as that. So
all the talent in that state.
16th is bad, dog. I mean, we're talking about OU missing out on David Hicks, and everybody's like, "This is why we can't win. This is why we can't win the big one." It's like, Doug, we're the number 4 class in the country. What are these teams saying? What are teams saying that can't crack the top 10, can't crack the top 15?
Yep.
Couldn't be me, dog. Let's see. When's the last time we had a class outside the top 15?
That'd be like 2015, 2014, when Bob Stoops was a coach.
Right. His last year wasn't hot. 2016, we were 19th in the composite.
Good night.
Yeah. We were 15th in 2015, 14th in 2014, 2013 we were 16. Damn, Bob. Appreciate it.
And you know what? We still went to two college football playoffs with those classes.
Right. Good Lord. 2010, that top 5 class was really good.
Yeah.
Had the number 1 dual threat quarterback in the country.
In 2001?
Blake Bell.
Blake Bell playing tight end in the NFL now.
Yep. That's Super Bowl champion, Blake Bell.
Hey.
All right. I've got to pop off. Oh. My dad says he can run a 4.4 10 meter.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 10 meter. We'll see. We can get it worked out at Christmas.
Yeah.
We'll get it worked out in the summer.
He definitely
run down
in his class. He's top 5.
We'll run down the landing there, Branson Landing. So if you see my dad and I sprinting down Branson Landing, just mind your business.
Like Rocky. Rocky and Apollo Creed right next to each other.
Exactly. All right. Well, I've got to run to this dinner. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and being flexible, being here on a Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So appreciate y'all. And I will see you guys very soon. I'll see you on radio next Wednesday and pod next Wednesday.
Yes,
Should be a fun one.
Yes, sir.
All right. See you guys. Indy's going to stick around with you guys for a little while.
All right, brother. Have a good dinner.
All right. Later, bro.
All right, y'all. I'm sticking around for a couple more minutes. Ask ask away. Let's bring the chat in here, have a little good time. Hey, make sure you like this video if you enjoy our content, you enjoy what we do. You can enjoy any sort of YouTube channel, which I know at this point is really just the JP and Trav show channel. I'm having conversations. Do I move it to just JP and Trav show? I'm thinking about doing more summer content. It's just tough, as you guys know, I'm an athletic director, so I got a lot of stuff I do. And so I'm contemplating on that. But regardless, if you like us, man, hit the like button, not only on the channel, but on the video. Get people in here, let them know what we're doing if we feel like we do good work. Hey, any more questions? Go ahead and throw them down in the chat, y'all. We are here. I got a couple more minutes that I can be on with you before I hit the hay. So, any other recruiting questions or just questions in general, anything y'all want to talk about, y'all let me know. I do want to mention, actually, here we go. South Josh, hit me up. What games do you plan to go to for this next football year? I won't be going to any in person. Of course, it's tough. I mean, you live, I don't even know how many hours away you live. Let's just talk about miles in Thailand. That's crazy. Listen, I generally will probably try to make, we've been in Oklahoma for Thanksgiving the last couple of years. I think that may just be, something that we try to do is make it down to the Thanksgiving games, whether that's Bedlam or whatever else. I may do that. Um, but rumor has it, and where is the Big 12 schedule at? That's what we're waiting for, Mr. Yormark. I mean, in your first year, you gonna delay the schedule for real? Can we get one, please? Sorry, we were supposed to have one last Friday, then it was Tuesday, and now it's about to be Friday again, and here we are. So, rumor has it, allegedly, OU is going to be playing at Cincinnati this next year. And if that happens, I mean, they're like swimwear. Me and my boy TJ, that some of y'all have seen in the comments that lives up here. Hey, that's a 2 hour drive. That's easy. That'd be like if we lived in Dallas and, making a drive up to Norman. So, probably Cincinnati, if it's at Cincinnati, that would be very, very fun to go to. Their stadium isn't huge or anything like that. At least I don't think they play in Paul Brown Stadium. I think they have their own, but I'm definitely gonna be there. But that's probably it. Besides that, OU is. I mean, yeah, we've already locked our. Sorry, we've locked our class up. Excuse me. For 23. I mean, we may get a couple more portal guys, but that's pretty much it. Um, Let me see. I am hearing that AD Mitchell is a lock to Texas. So you know, we'll not a lock. I'll say it's looking good for them. So we'll have to see what they do. I mean, it's a good addition to the receiver room. A lot of people think that means that Xavier Worthy is gone. I saw a question about is there real smoke about that. All I'll say is that Emmett Jones is real. That's what I'll say. If that tells you anything. I'm not saying he's going to come to OU, but the fact that we're not dismissing it, or I'm not hearing that we're just dismissing it straight up, I think speaks to the relationship Emmett Jones has with a lot of, recruits from Texas, and he's going to be big for us in Texas. I don't know. So hey, somebody do some research for me. I wish my phone was not dead. And somebody in the comments, look up to see if the Big 12 is the only Power 5 conference that has scheduled yet. Because we might be the only Power 5 conference that has scheduled, which is crazy. It's crazy. Why don't we have our schedule out yet? I just want to know. Yeah, back in December, and here we are almost at the end of January, and we don't have one. I think that there's a good chance OU wins 10 games. I mean, we were close to doing it. And when I said close to doing it, we had, 4 or 5 games where it's one possession. The last 3 games, the last 4, you include the bowl game, all 3-point losses. You have West Virginia, Texas Tech. What's the one before? Who did we play before West Virginia? Was it Baylor? But yeah, Baylor was a 3-point loss as well. So 4 in a row of 3-point losses, and you look at it and you're like, man, like a play here or there, we win those games, and that's the difference, right? And so, you looking at next year potentially that's something that can happen. It's not out of the realm possibility. Florida State, was what 5-7 last year. TCU was 3-9 last year, right? And here they are in the national championship game. Yes, they got throttled, but we would take being in the national championship game and having a playoff win. We don't even have that yet. So no way they would never drop the Red River Shootout. That's not going to happen. Bedlam would get dropped, yes, but the Red River Shootout absolutely not. If Peyton doesn't start or play much at safety, do you think he'll be the starting punt returner? I definitely think they're going to get him involved in the return game. He's too special of a player for them to not get the ball in his hands, or have him in some capacity. And I think he'll make the two deep. I think he will probably be. I don't know what they're going to do with the strong safety position, whether they're going to have Billy there, or Billy at free, and I know Key's hanging around. I don't know if Key's going to take a jump, or, you have Macari in there as well. You have Robert Spears Jennings, as just some names. Safety room is better than it's been in a long time with some of these cats we've brought in. But Peyton Bowen is definitely going to find a way to get on the field. The Pac-12 also does not have a schedule yet, which we don't want to be compared to the Pac-12. So let's just go there. Yeah. So Big 12, let's get a roll on. I know we're not going to be here very much longer, but I'd appreciate it if we could get our schedule out on time. Thanks. Matt asked, will Jaden Rowe get some time? I don't know, man. A lot of people like him potentially at that cheetah position. I don't know if Jaren's going to be there, but we've heard how fast Jaden Rowe is. He dealt with some injuries last year. I'm not saying he would have gotten the field last year, but hopefully he can stay healthy and he can become the player that we all thought. I mean, again, guys, like when we take in recruits, you got to understand. We get all excited about them when they get to OU and we think, oh, they get on the field. But ultimately, you want to have a team where you have juniors, seniors, just like Bama. Like, yeah, they have a couple freshmen play, but those are elite guys, obviously. But mostly, third-year guys, 4-year guys that are there and they can do the job. And sometimes you have a 4 or 5-star recruit that just don't pan out, and that's okay. Or even a 3-star, as Jaden was. I think he was high 3, low 4, if I'm not mistaken. But sometimes you have those things happen, and those guys may not pan out. Jordan Meach was one everybody was excited about because they looked at his potential, but potential is just that. It's potential unless it's realized. So, Jaden, I don't think was a polished guy, and we're hoping that the staff will do what the staff does and hopefully develop him. But ultimately, it's going to be on him, obviously, to be healthy and as much as he can handle that and do what he needs to do to be on the field. I've heard that Bedlam is happening next year at Stillwater, excuse me. So, but after that, I think it's done. ACC is announcing it on January 30th. Excuse me. Pac-12 released theirs yesterday. Okay, so Pac-12 is on it. The ACC, maybe it's not that crazy. I still don't like not having the schedule yet, but maybe it's not as crazy as I thought it was. Okay. Who starts on D-line inside backers? I mean, I'm claiming Danny, and I don't know if it's gonna be Jaron. I don't know if it's gonna be Shane. Um, you know, I don't know that a freshman would do it. Obviously, I'm excited to see what combination they decide to go with there. But I think that's what I have for inside backers. D line, I think Downs will probably start, or unless you feel like Borthor may get the start over him on one end. Then I think Deshaun's going to be on the edge in that position, unless they put him at Cheetah, which a lot of people think that could happen as well. And then you should have Jordan Kelly and Isaiah Coe in the middle. That's what I would say. Those two in the middle. With a couple couple other guys backing them up. SEC and Big Ten released theirs last fall. Yeah, can we just come on? Like last fall, and here I can't wait till they at least know where we going. Cause yeah, don't even get me started. I'm a chill. Um, Michael Hawkins is an OU lean. He has been for a while. With Kendall Browse going to TCU, that helps because he was looking at Arkansas. Also depending on where he ends up playing high school at. Obviously, he's moved on from Allen. We don't know where he's at right now. I think Parker. I saw earlier Parker say he might be in Frisco, so I think Lovejoy's up there. So we'll have to see what they decide to do. Um, David who are we talking about here, Josh? David O. What position? Because I can't think of anybody. Oh, you mean David Ugwebu? David Ugwebu with a U. Yes. Yeah, somebody will give him playing time because he's gone. Yeah, Kelly could have a big year. He has been close. He's with another year with Schmitty, and he got another year of Top Bates as well. I mean, I don't know. I mean, David Ugwebu had 100 plus tackles this year too. That's because in Venable's system, they filter a lot of things to the linebackers. And under Grinch's system, it was the defensive line that was, asked to go make a play and, one, you know, gap scheme basically. And, this is in Venable's system is more of a two gap where, you hold up guys and allow the linebackers to come clean so that, those offensive linemen can't get up to the second level, right? So with that, the linebackers have to make plays and have to be in the right holes and different stuff like that. And, maybe you flush it out sideline to sideline as well. And that's what happened a lot this year. So, obviously for as rough as we would say so at times, especially zone coverage and stuff like that, things were, they tackled decent and well. I mean, to have two linebackers over 100 tackles each, is not nothing to shag at. But think David's just not fit to be speed wise sideline to sideline. It's just not there. I think he's better as an edge. So I will see where he ends up going. TD Roof is gone. His eligibility is shot. I don't think he applied for a medical red shirt anyway. So David Ugwebu could come back. I guess he's still in the portal. He hasn't found anywhere. But I mean, I felt like he was going to come back. He would have already. Yeah, I mean, we have a little linebacker depth coming up now. We took a bunch in this last class: Sam Oshimigo, Lewis Carter. We'll see what they do with Cade McIntyre, um, Phil Picchiotti. I mean, those are all guys right there that were highly recruited. Phil Picchiotti's kind of underrated for some reason. Was a 3-star, maybe late blooming 4-star. So was Danny. We saw what Danny's been able to do, and so Phil. A lot of people said Phil looks the most ready to go right now in terms of his look. Not like I haven't heard anything about practices. Obviously, they just started, but in terms of how he looks, they said that he looks like a guy that could get on the field just in terms of his physicality. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, excited to see somebody else. I will say that. I'm excited to see somebody else besides David at linebacker. Love David. Hope he does well. He's a great leader. Obviously, he had a big impact in that room, but man, it'll be nice to see somebody with a little bit more sideline to sideline speed consistently in that. Well, and I will say, to be fair to them, we didn't have much depth, and so they didn't really get breaks. They didn't really get breaks this year. They couldn't. It was tough for them. So, when you're on the field playing 90 plus snaps and as a linebacker, you don't have that depth to get breaks. That's tough. So hopefully that depth continues to be built and we'll see more consistency at the linebacker position because of that. But, if David was just here for that 1 year under BV and was able to build a foundation, then great. That's what you asked for. So, any more questions? If not, guys, I'm gonna hop off. I'll stay on here another minute just to see if anybody has anything else. But I appreciate the 70 plus of y'all that came and we're here tonight, man. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all's support. Please make sure you continue to tell people about JP and Trav show. The guests we have coming on, as you guys know, we like to hang out with the chat. We do fun games like this or that. We talk about things just not nonchalantly, but we try to be real. We're a real podcast. We're not going to do the, try to act like necessarily we know everything. We're going to tell you what we know. We're not going to be holding things close to our chest as much as we can. If there are certain things we have to, that's fine. But other than that, we try to give you all the knowledge that we know. And we always said we're a podcast of the people. That's what we do. So, yeah. Shannon, she's just dancing on tables, like standing herself up on tables by balancing and then just, I don't know if y'all saw that video, but so that's kind of cute. I don't know if I like it, to be honest, because, yeah, she's too young to be dancing like that. But, oh, okay. I didn't even know he wasn't at school, to be honest with you. Sounds like, according to Christy, he showed up tonight. Les said that Dobie's there today. So it sounds like he's there. So hopefully, that gets figured out and that, that's a guy that we really worked hard to get and that the staff was excited about in the defensive backfield. So, yeah, looking forward to him for sure. But, all right, guys, I'm going to head out. I appreciate y'all. Y'all been great and looking forward to, hearing back from you guys next week. And we'll see y'all at 9 p.m. sharp next week. Boomer.